Mr. Possum Kiss.
Welcome to the Posscast.
Welcome to the Posscast, where we bring you Reddit cringe straight from the sewers.
Hell yeah.
Because I forgot to... Yeah, I forgot where I put the apartment.
Oh well.
Yeah. You ever just lose an entire apartment? This sewer is great, and it's definitely not the most locked out of the apartment situation we've been in.
No. We could. It's got windows.
Yes. I mean, I believe those are called fume pipes, but shit.
No, I mean the apartment.
Oh yeah.
Break into the apartment.
Well, no, it's boarded up. Remember?
Alright.
Yeah. Anywho, we got stories today, one each.
Uh-huh.
So, you want to do yours?
Yeah, sure, I can do mine.
Alrighty then.
Okay. Posted 2 days ago by user Umbra Dominus.
Interesting.
It's got 448 upvotes.
Anytime I hear the word Umbra, I think of that really, really shitty, oh god, what was it? The one where the villain group was Black Lives Matter, but it was like a secret Illuminati. It was basically what the right thinks Antifa is, and it was called Umbra.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Like, oh, it's a secret organization that uses social topics in order to sow unrest and take control. It's like, that's in very bad taste. You know?
Yeah. Alright. Title of the story is Player gets angry because he doesn't like my character for a campaign he's not in, and forces me to leave the campaign he's in.
Okay.
A long and weird title, I know, and sorry if this post is all over the place. This quite literally just happened. It's 3 a.m. here where I live, and English isn't my first language. But boy, I have to tell this somewhere or else I'm gonna explode. You might remember me, or not, as that one girl that almost got kicked out of a campaign for wanting to play a lesbian pirate. This might sound unrelated.
Did we do that story?
I don't know. Maybe?
I'm
not sure.
Was that the one with the tiefling?
I'd have to look through their posts.
Yeah, okay. Well, we can do that. We can put that on the list for next week of checking out if it's not the one we've done.
Oh, no, I don't think we saw it. It looks like it was posted into r/D&D and not r/RPG horror stories.
All right. Then yeah, let's put that on the list for next week.
All right. This might sound unrelated. It isn't. It's one of those players is the main character of this awful night. So let me tell you some context. I had this group for like a year or so. There's 3 boys, all friends beforehand, and me. I met them at another campaign, and we created this group to keep playing after it got cancelled. Our main character is one of these guys. We'll call him Asshole, formerly A, 22 male, if that matters. Asshole is not in the first campaign with us. In fact, he'd never played TTRPGs before. But the first campaign ran smooth. We played Cthulhu Tech, had 22 sessions of the best campaign of I've had in my life. Somehow, even though the players were quite terrible, and I can stand a lot, and just left. Our DM decided to keep hosting a few more games, which led us to Cthulhu Tech Part 2, our most recent campaign. Asshole was invited to this campaign alongside with the other player in Cthulhu Tech Part 1. Meanwhile, I was searching for another campaign because I need to have more than one at the same time, and I encountered this absolutely amazing, incredible, fantastic DM. He's hosting D&D, and a friend of mine said he won't be able to play, so he wants me to take his place. I enter D&D Paradise. He knows the books, something none of my other DMs do. He knows how to twist the books. He knows about classes, subclasses, and races I've never even heard about. He opens a whole new role-playing world to me. I sent him some background asking if 1.5 pages is too much. He says it's too little. I can write. You don't know how happy I was to know I could actually write a backstory instead of a quick summary I knew no one would read. He reads it, tells me what he likes, gives life to my NPCs. I fall in love. Instantly, best DM I had. Sorry for this rant, but he's truly amazing and it needs to be said. Thing is, and this is the controversial part, I create my character to be quite apathetic when it comes to gender. He doesn't care about what pronouns are used on him, nor about clothes or how the rest of the party treats him. It becomes kind of a meme between the other members of the party. Having as I had a problem with playing LGBT characters in the past, I ask my DM if it's fine, and he answers by saying he is. Actually, he decides to give it a little twist, and tells me that my character's caretaker is actually non-binary, and that I could use that as an excuse for his mindset about gender.
Hell yeah.
I know some people don't like to include LGBT topics, but this party and DM were completely fine with it, just to clarify. Side tangent as the reader. If any members in your party are uncomfortable with just being like, hi, I play a gay elf, and they're like, don't, maybe consider helping them change their mind and be less of an asshole.
Yeah, because, you know...
I'm not saying immediately drop them forever, just do the thing that you're supposed to do in that situation, which is maybe try and see if you can get your friend to see reason, and if he can't, then shun.
Yeah, because, it's 2023. It's not fucking 1780 where you get beat.
I mean, they don't... English isn't their first language, so who knows? They might be somewhere where you can get beat for it.
Yeah. Either way, don't be on the wrong side of history. Progress will happen regardless of... there's gonna be a few hills and bumps in the road, but progress is inevitable.
Yeah. Everything goes perfect, everything goes fun. I have so much fun I decide, how stupid I was, to go to my friend's server and tell everyone how much I was enjoying the roleplay. How much I enjoyed playing with the book for once, getting to know my class, being able to play as a new race, and being able to play a character under the non-binary umbrella. This chat is not only for our RP group, it's a lot of old friends of mine here, so this message was more for them, but Asshole saw it, and he was not happy. So I get a DM from him that roughly translates to, hey, not meaning to offend you or anything, but I don't get it. What's the need? Why do you need to go around saying that what your character gender is and stuff? No one should care about that. At first, I took it the good way for some reason. I thought he truly meant it in a be yourself, you don't need to justify anything way. But, man, was I wrong.
Well, apparently he cares about it. No one cares about it. That's why I'm making such a big deal about how little I care about it. Nobody cares about it, so why did you even bother? Clearly, I don't care about it. God.
People like that, that the first thing that they think
are
about when they see someone is their genitaliers.
Yeah. Before you go into the bathroom, I need to look at your genitals, make sure you're not a pervert.
And then sucker punch in the eyeball.
Yeah. Or throw tomato soup on them. Because that is actually very effective against transphobes.
Or 3 pints of your own blood.
Oh my god, did you hear about the TERFs that were clocking Daniel Radcliffe's wife as trans in the picture in which they announced their pregnancy?
I know, right? Amazing.
They clocked
amazing what
a
medical
pregnant
science has done.
Because she was taller than Daniel Radcliffe, and Daniel Radcliffe is a short person.
Taller and just because she's tall and has a bit of a squared off jawline.
Yeah, it's all based off pseudoscience.
It's all based on pseudoscience, and well, she kind of, I guess, almost looks like a woman that is that used to have a wiener.
It's based on white
still.
supremacy. It's based on white supremacy pseudoscience. Like, no joke. It's using the same kind of quote unquote
it's
logic.
phrenology bullshit.
Exactly, phrenology, which was created to try and say white people are better than non-white people, and it's all completely bullshit because everyone is different. There's no like single thing to like. There's no single trait that one entire race has that puts them above everyone else. Like, everyone is different. Everyone has, their own strengths and weaknesses. Like, you can't boil it down to like, oh, this person is lesser in this skill because of their race.
Yeah. All right. I tell asshole that I said it because it's something that makes me happy about how the DM and the party acts, since I had some bad experiences before. He keeps telling me how labels are bad and we should avoid them. He says, I was born in the wrong generation. All this labels and stuff didn't exist back in the day and things were much better and things like that.
They were not better.
I tell him to please stop, since I was just minding my business and it was 2 a.m. I didn't want to have a discussion about how I created a character he knew nothing about. But he insisted. He started fighting himself, kinda. I told him he couldn't ask me to just shut up and don't annoy anyone, just as he wouldn't go to a pride parade and ask someone to go back home because there's no need for labels. For some reason, he thought I was calling him homophobic there, and it all went down the drain. He started calling me names, specifically asking me if I was drunk or on drugs, or if I was... they do censor it. With like, a little asterisk in the middle of it, which, but whatever. Or if I was mentally disabled.
Oh, the R?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with an asterisk instead of the first E.
Not the hard R, because, that's not what that refers to. We're not Linus Tech Tips. We know that it's called
Silver,
the R
that was
slur.
like 2 months ago. Nobody knows what you're talking about anymore.
It was still fucking hilarious.
It was amazing seeing a massive tech company almost crumble to the ground, but still.
Yeah.
Internet relevancy deems that happened 2 billion years ago.
Yeah, but the thing, even though it was a long time ago by internet standards, if it's on the internet, it will never be forgotten.
Yeah.
God.
At some point, I got fed up of his nonsense. I told him to stop disrespecting me. So he got angry, said I was toxic AF, as he always suspected, and blocked me. So, yes, I suppose I'll have to leave the Cthulhu Tech campaign. But it's so incredibly stupid, him getting angry over a character he doesn't and will never know. Him insulting me that bad over a D&D character. Terrible experience, 1 out of 10, wouldn't recommend.
So is this guy the DM of the Cthulhu Tech game?
No, he's a player in it.
Then they should talk to the DM, bring up the receipts, and be like, hey, this player's actually being like a huge dick. Like, in a general sense.
I'm looking through the comments. They did say something. Basically, someone like, why would you leave? He's the one being an asshole. Stay. And the OP was basically just like, I'm a new person to the friend group, and he's been in there way longer. They'll probably take his side.
Well, still bring it up with the DM if you're.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be.
Hold on. They are talking to the DM.
Oh.
Now in the morning, I'm talking to my DM, and when I asked him if I should leave, he said, "Don't worry about that. I'll talk to him." So let's see how this unfolds. I'll post an update when this all sets down. This was, posted 2 days ago.
The no update.
Check comment. Let me check their comments to see if there's been any.
Yeah, because it could very well be one of those situations where the only reason that person is still in the group is because nobody speaks up about how terrible they are. Because that is a thing that happens. Like, everyone's in the mindset of, like, yeah, they're a terrible person, but I don't want to, like, risk losing the friend group by talking to them. And everyone has that same kind of mindset, so nobody knows that everyone hates them, you know?
Yeah.
There was a, oh, your thing, your VTube.
What?
Oh, there it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your VTube stopped blinking for a long time. I thought it, like, stopped.
I think it uses a random number generator to make it blink.
I know, but it was also for an inordinate amount of time.
Well, I'm just like that sometimes,
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta stare. I used to have a friend in, a quote-unquote friend in the friend group who, after we kicked him out, realized he was none of our friends. He just sort of showed up in the friend group, and we all thought he was someone else's friend, and we all were like, we didn't speak up about, like, how much of a creep he was for way too long, because, we didn't want to shake up the friend group, and until it got too much, we had the huge blow up. He was voted out, basically, or less voted out and more ostracized from the friend group until he just left, and afterwards, we realized that none of us were his friend, even before he joined the group.
All right. Well, that's that story.
Yeah.
You've got one, right?
Yes. The DM took the sandbox a little too literally by Impressive Elk 1192, posted about 3 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago, by and it's got 764 updates.
Hey, wait, is this going up today or is this for next week?
This is today.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, the DM of the story is a friend. They were looking for a final player to round the game out, so my friend invited me. Or the DM of the story is a friend of a friend. They were looking for the final player to round out the game, so my friend invited me. Knowing that I'd been looking for a homebrew game to join in. I'm a forever DM, so I'll take pretty much any game. The game was pitched as completely open sandbox. Unlike other games I played in, his plan was to build the world around the characters and not the other way around. I was intrigued by this strategy, although I had a few misgivings. Session 0 rolled around, and it was simply whatever we want to do. The only piece of world building we were given was that everyone hates elves with a passion. High elves especially. I was planning on playing as a wood elf, so I asked why, and the DM responded, "Haha, wouldn't you like to know? Wink wink," kind of answer. He then said...
Yeah, that's why they asked.
Yes. I'm pretty sure if they're making a character that is an elf, they would probably have at least some kind of idea as to why everyone hates elves,
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like they suddenly spawn into the world fully grown with no knowledge whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah. He then says that what the elves did was a mystery, and we'll have to solve that within the game. How the fuck? Okay, that makes no sense, because, like, there would at least be, like, some... Like, there would at least be a stereotype associated with elves that would be a clue. Like, if it's going like even in Lord of the Rings, the elves and the dwarves hated each other, and that stemmed, like, there was a very clear answer that had to do with why they distrust each other. The dwarves called the elves for aid at one point, and the elves did not show up, and that is why the dwarves believed the elves to be untrustworthy, because they were, did not keep their promise. Like,
Yeah.
like there would at least be some like stereotypes that people associate with the elves to give that kind, like give a reason. Like fantasy racism doesn't just appear out of nowhere. Heathens.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Now, I'm cool with that, but I also point out that people must have a reason for hating them. And if it's a mystery no one knows about, then why do people hate high elves? Even a bogus reason would be okay, but a reason would be nice to know. Nope, he doesn't want to tell us. Now, I tell my friend about it, and we come to the conclusion that he just doesn't have any plot yet, and that's why he's not telling us anything. We kind of signed up for that, so sure, whatever. We were sure we'd find out more later, so I roll up my little elf character. Session 1, we're boarding a boat. Cool. We hadn't planned for that, but sure, roll with the punches. Where do we board the boat? No idea. Boat's name? No clue. Where the boat is going or why it's going there? Doesn't matter. We're on a boat! And now we're being attacked by a kraken at level 3, even before we got to speak to any of the NPCs other than the captain. We inevitably lose the fight and the boat sinks, leaving us the only survivors on the beach. My character stands up and sees sand and the ocean. There's some wreckage on the beach, but nothing to write home about. We open all the crates within 5 minutes and find some carrots. Then we look around and see sand as far as the eye can see. We walk around for a little bit and see some rocks.
Hold on, they open a shit ton of boxes and they only find carrots?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking that the DM probably didn't have any plans for what was inside, or even some kind of, you know, crate table. I fucking love making tables, by the way. I love making loot tables. They're so fun. You just throw random shit in there.
Yeah.
That's why I got the that's why I made the sea event chart, which is 100 sea events for whenever y'all are sailing around.
Is it 100 unique events?
No, there are some repeats, you know, like Shex's ship.
Ah, cheating then.
Yeah. But Shex's ship is and Calm Seas are the only ones that about a fifth of them are occupied by.
I found it. Found it.
What?
Okay, good. Oh, I took the nose pads off my glasses because I'm cleaning the gunk off of them.
Oh, and you dropped one?
I dropped the screw in my lap, but I felt for it and found it.
My glasses! I can't see without my glasses. I love that line, that Velma's iconic line happened completely by accident.
Oh, is it an improvised line?
No, so the original voice actor wore, had glasses, and when she was, recording, early in, when she was, recording, her glasses fell off, and she, said that in response.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. Okay. So, we walk around a bit and see some rocks. Thinking it might be an oasis or something, we head for the rocks. They're just rocks. We look for something else, and we see sand. We have the ranger in the party, so we try and use their survival skills to pick a direction for us. We end up wandering northeast for the next 2 sessions.
Just 2 sessions of aimless wandering?
All we see is sand. I could sort of see this working on a survival game, except we have Goodberry and create water. And enough wood to make campfires for a while. And one of the players picked up a tent. So food, shelter, and water are all taken care of. The players are cool people, so we managed to some fun roleplay, but we're starting to run out of things to talk about. After this session, I pull the DM aside and tell him he's not giving us much to work with. He tells me he's given us a world to shape as we see fit. I tell him...
No, you've given them a bunch of sand to walk through and an ocean that they can't swim across.
Well, yeah, why do you think they call it Sandbox?
Yeah, you've given them a big fucking desert and a kraken ocean.
Yeah, y'all have had experiences in both oceans and deserts in the last few sessions.
At least you had some oases.
A little too many oases. I didn't realize until after the fact just how many goddamn oases I put on that second.
Wasn't there like
4?
4 in a row, like 4 on the chart?
Yeah.
Or 4 encounters.
Okay. Well, what it was so I had the encounter. Well, I had the event. I call them events because not all of them are encounters. Implies combat, but there are some that didn't require combat, like the slime druid. So when you rolled the slime druid, all I had written for it was the slime druid appears, but I didn't have any way of like. I was like, okay. In the moment, I was like, okay, so where would be the best place to find it? Oh, an oasis. It would make sense for someone to be at an oasis. So I had these things, and my immediate thought for like the things that weren't necessarily combat was to just put it in an oasis. That's the best place for it to make sense. And considering the oases were like within eyesight of the road, that would in universe that would make sense as for why they built the road the way they did, so that you would have these oases on the spot. But yeah, no, that was definitely a thought after the fact.
Yeah, just a happy little bit of accidental world building.
Yeah, which is the best kind of world building. Like when you describe, like when there's when they go to travel back in time and see it to a town they've been to, and there's a mountain there that wasn't there before. I love that story. The players are so excited to learn what happens to the mountain. I, as a DM, am also excited to learn what happens to the mountain. It's one of my favorite stories that I've read. It wasn't on the channel. It's just a classic. It's right up there with like Barnaby the Brass Dragon and Sam Smorkle. Okay. So yeah,
I'm actually I am in my Pathfinder campaign. There is a mountain that used to be there in one of the spots.
Yeah.
But we know why it's gone.
Was it actually like a titan that was sleeping and woke up and walked away?
No. What it was basically a planet-ending sized asteroid heading for the planet, and just about every fucking dragon on the world got together and was like, hey, we gotta stop this. So they're basically, through sacrificing most of themselves. There's still dragons around, they're just like not as, it just isn't the age of dragons anymore,
Yeah.
But through a lot of self-sacrifice, instead of destroying the whole world, it only destroyed a mountain range.
And probably like the surrounding areas.
mountain range that had the horde of a large of an adult red dragon who had been turned into a stone kobold previously.
Oh right, yeah, I remember you telling about that story. And the dragon that he raised is like, you're a kobold now, so I don't need to respect you. I already mourned you, so fuck off.
Well, it's not that it wasn't like you're a kobold, I don't respect you. It was more the you that I know I've already accepted as being dead.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be rude to you, but also I'm a dragon, show me respect.
Yeah. Alright, okay. So, He gave us the world to shape as we see fit. I tell him I like the group, and but I need something to look at other than sand, and he promises me the next session will be more interesting. Next session, and drumroll, we find
Ba-da-da-da-da.
2 trees. That's it. They're not magical. Their water source is underground and inaccessible, and they have no coconuts on them, but we might be getting close to the edge of a beach. Out of character, the DM says that we should be only 2 more sessions in the desert. I tell him that I won't be around to see it. Oh my god.
2 more sessions of desert, and I tell him I won't be around to see it.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah. Even I am giving you a quick way to cross the desert if you're willing to negotiate some stuff. I gave y'all guides which would let y'all cross the desert faster that y'all chose not to. Like, I understand. Deserts can be boring as shit. But also, judging by this, I'm guessing there were also no enemies to encounter, no weird things to come across. Update, the group just did a session last night, and according to my friend, the whole thing was the first step of the afterlife. Apparently, everyone died in the shipwreck, and our souls were neither good enough for heaven nor bad enough for hell, so they were sent to a perpetual desert until the gods could decide what to do with us. Turns out each of us needed to do a good deed to get out. Props to the comment about the super fun trigger we haven't found. And when my character died and the others refused to leave her behind, that was enough goodness to trigger the gods' divine intervention. They have been resurrected and need to do a certain amount of good in the world until then. If they ever do anything not good, they will instantly die and be sent to hell. This whole thing was to accommodate for a player who wanted a bad guy redeemed kind of arc. So I'm glad I left. Oh my god. So, you know how you could do an afterlife desert that you have to claw your way out of in order to return to life? You know how you could do that with it being interesting?
Have it be in the backstory?
Well, I mean, it could work for like a session 1. Don't drag it on for 5 sessions, first of all. And second of all, add things into the afterlife, like monuments to like monuments and ruins of like the things relevant to their life before. Have them have to confront at least a bit of their like a bit of their backstory traumas. Like not enough to like lay it out on the table, but just enough to have like to get a glimpse of the kind of character. And also maybe add enemies that are trying to pull them one way or another, like imps that are trying to drag them to hell, or angels or cherubs that are trying to drag them to the heavens, like when all they want is to, you know, go back to life. That would be an interesting way to do that. The premise could work. The execution, terrible, because it just sounds like this DM had no plans whatsoever. Also, did the carrots die?
Yeah.
And why did they need to eat and drink? Was it because they didn't know that they were dead and they didn't know that they didn't have to eat or drink?
Probably.
Were they?
How did the OP's character die again a second time?
Well, they
did their soul just give up and waste away?
I don't know. It's not specified. I'm assuming they just. Actually, I have no idea, because the guy. Okay, that still makes no sense, because the good deed that the other group did was refusing to leave OP's soul behind. When OP was like, all right, I give up, I give up. I'm just gonna let myself die. And the other's like, no. And so that's their good deed that let them get up, which would cause them to have to leave OP in it anyways. Oh god, this DM is terrible. Ah, you know,
and you know he's not gonna learn from this.
it could have been telegraphed a bit more. Like, it would have been at least improved if it was telegraphed a bit more. Like, maybe at night you can see reflections. If they spend the night by the water, they can see reflections of things that aren't, like, they can see reflections in the water that aren't there. Maybe the sand is like ashy gray. Hell, just make the sand turn out to be just ashes in general. But I think, like, add, and also don't drag it out for 5 sessions. It'd be like,
yeah, you can tell that that the DM is not going to learn from this, because when told, hey, I need something to look at that isn't sand for I'm just gonna assume the length of a session to be somewhere between 2 to 4 hours.
let's assume 4 hours.
I'd like to look at something that isn't sand for another 4 hours of my, like, fun day of the week.
Yeah. So,
and then he's like, oh, don't worry, you're gonna be in for a treat. 2 trees.
2 trees.
2 trees that you can't get anything from.
At least give them a cactus that they can eat and start tripping out.
Or fucking make it a coconut tree.
Yeah, they didn't even make
it a coconut.
Yeah. God, that was session 3.
Or like palm fruit or something.
Durians.
Durian, like, literally anything other than 2 fucking normal ass trees in the middle of the desert.
Or make them trees that normally don't grow in desert, like pine trees. Because that would raise several questions.
Ah, well.
Yeah. So yeah, the lesson for this is, if you're gonna make a sandbox world, the best way to do it, because I run a sandbox world, the way I run it is, I have I present multiple plot hooks, and then y'all choose whichever ones y'all want to follow. Even wandering through the desert for like 5 sessions was because you were following a plot hook. And y'all had a goal, and y'all knew where to go. It wasn't just aimless wandering.
We are in a sandbox campaign, but you've actually done at least a modicum of prep work.
Yeah, even in the first session. So the first 2 sessions were like the tutorial sessions. Session 1 was them being hired by the tutorial NPC, Dr. Tross, whose current role is to give exposition when asked, which is the key thing. And he had y'all escort him through a dungeon, a very short dungeon, and get the
magic MacGuffin.
Yeah, the one of the primary MacGuffins.
The 2 magic MacGuffins.
Yeah.
It was a tutorial temple for us to be like, okay, we're level 1, let's fight some bugs.
Yeah, and then you got the thing that you got an item that tells you, like, that lets you know how many MacGuffins there are, as well as one of the MacGuffins. Session 2 was learning what that MacGuffin does, and also fighting off some pirates that set fire to the town while you were gone, because they wanted the MacGuffin.
Yep. Also, oh boy. I did kind of put myself into a minor main character role because of
the first nat 20
through sheer shiny.
The first nat 20 of the game.
First nat 20 of the game. I do good on what was it, a wisdom save or something?
Yeah, it was
Intelligence.
it was a wisdom save. It had
Literally one of my 2 dump stats.
It had a its DC was like I want to say around like 15 or 16, so not hard but also not necessarily easy. And
Yeah.
what it does is if you fail, you get blasted back a few feet. And it was the MacGuffin was just for whoever succeeds first. That's who it gets, and that's what the dice roll.
And the dice said, first to touch, first to get.
Yeah, honestly, better you than Varen, because Varen, being the captain, having the most experience and being the one who is definitely going to be captain. That would definitely put Varen as main character without a doubt.
Now I am the main character.
Yeah.
Mwahaha.
But I also do give focus to other characters. You know, Corvus had her moments Corvus had her moments in the first couple sessions with, you know, her hometown being burned. And Sushi has her moments with, you know, figuring out the shit with the patron. So I do.
I get my moments with my visions.
Yeah, that are granted to you by the bracer. So yeah, I do try to give everyone a bit of focus. And everyone like I try to have. In terms of loot, I try to give everyone some kind of loot they can use, which is why I gave Corvus that sick armor.
Yeah.
In the last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool armor.
And you got
to use a little bit.
I don't even know if she put it on. Yeah. But you also got the rapiers, the cane.
Yeah, I got some cool I got a cool dual wielding magic weapon.
Yeah, it's 2+1 rapiers that fold into each other and disguise as a cane.
Now the question is, does Levere walk around with the cane, or does he just keep them as rapiers at his sides?
I mean, a cane would make it less likely to be confiscated.
True, but that depends on location, really.
Plus, it's dapper as fuck, especially with your new hat.
My hat, my cool jacket, cool cane. Sick as fuck.
That is like an iconic look for a pirate. That is the kind of pirate that you're gonna see in textbooks. You're gonna have like the wanted post. The next time you have a wanted poster for you, it's just gonna be full body. You with the cane, with the hat, with the jacket.
I mean, first we have to commit crimes to get wanted posters, and the only crimes we've committed, we've gotten away with scot-free.
Well, I mean, there are the wanted
for us at least.
Yeah, there are the wanted posters that tangentially resemble y'all.
Yeah, but the guys who put that out originally are fucking dead. At least I assume it was the Yanti that gave the descriptions.
It was it's the Kingdom of Bailey is where the wanted posters are. A place y'all have not been yet.
Wonder why there's wanted posters for us in a place we haven't been.
Well, that's yet another plot hook you can follow.
True.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, the summary of this.
Instead of having like a half hour of us just talking about the D&D, about our D&D campaign.
Well, I mean, it's a perfect example as to why, like, sandboxes are fun, but you have to have stuff in them. This was like, my campaign has a lot of stuff that you can do. You have, like, 5 different plot hooks to follow.
Here's a good example I can give. It's like the difference between loading into just like the middle of like fucking GTA 5. Because, you know, GTA is a sandbox game.
Yeah.
It's there, you don't have to really do anything plot-wise, but there's plenty of shit to do. and you can steal a car. There are indicators on screen to say, "Hey, go do this plot hook."
Yeah. There's also
And then-
personal
or- and then
challenges
the other-
you could do, like rob all the convenience stores in Los Santos in a
Yeah.
single run.
Or and compared to like
Minecraft Super Flat.
like Minecraft, less Minecraft super flat, more Gmod, but your Q button's broken.
Oh god, that sounds horrifying.
Yeah, it's like great. Here I am in GM flat grass.
I mean, even with that, you could, even if your Q button is broke, you can still like load up TTT or murder.
yeah, but like if you're just like but specifically I'm talking about sandbox mode.
Yeah.
You're just stuck in the middle of a map with nothing to do other than maybe kill yourself with a rocket launcher a couple times until you get bored of watching your ragdoll fly around.
Yeah, it's the difference between loading up like a mod pack, like it's the difference between loading up like Minecraft like Sky Factory and loading up Minecraft Super Flat with structures turned off on peaceful mode.
Yeah, it's just
You got dirt.
yeah, but
And you got dirt.
at least with that you can build something with the dirt.
Okay, it's like the difference between loading up Sky Factory and loading up Super Flat, no structures, no bedrock, single layer sand. Peaceful.
Adventure mode.
Yeah, adventure mode. Oh,
You
God.
don't get to break anything.
Yeah.
What you do is you get to follow the story. The story of sand.
Yeah, just walk in a desert with no enemies, no structures, no mobs, just sand. Hell, even turn off trees and bushes. Just sand.
Boy.
Except for 2 trees.
Yeah, 2 trees about 2 million blocks away from origin.
Yeah, they're in the Farlands. I miss the Farlands.
I once managed to get to the Farlands once.
Nice. Did you
Actually, using cheats,
Yeah.
cheats, obviously.
God.
Silver, there's no way in God's name am I gonna be able to get there on my own. There's a man who's been uploading it to YouTube.
Yeah, Journey to the Farlands.
It's like 7 years.
It's been like 10 years.
Hold on, let me look up Kurt J. Mac.
Did he ever get to the Farlands?
Let's see, Farlands or Bust with Kurt J. Mac. He used to do other things, but he has just kind of changed the channel. I used to watch his Kerbal Space Program stuff. Now he mostly just does Farlands or Bust. He recently had a 2023 subathon. 15 hours ago, episode 845.
Still no Farlands?
Still not in the far. He has definitely gotten to the point where like he's not to the real Farlands yet, but he is far enough out that like everything's fucky now.
Yeah, he's at the 2 trees. He's still got 2 more sessions worth.
Yeah, I think it's the point where like gravity doesn't work for blocks anymore, and like things aren't placed evenly, like things aren't placed on the grid nice.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that a D&D
mobs like slide when they move.
I think that a D&D campaign where they're going to like effectively fantasy Farlands would make a very cool campaign. Because imagine all the crazy shit you could do if you have.
It's one of the situations where you can justify having a flat planet.
Exactly.
I mean, it's fantasy, like just through being a fantasy, it's already justifiable because magic's real. Why couldn't there just be a flat plane in the middle of nowhere?
It is flat, but only for elves. God, I'm so glad I have the flat to pier person in the fucking Hunters Guild.
We're gonna run into him every time we go to the Hunters Guild, aren't we?
Well, just in that arc. Or just in that branch.
Well, it is the Hunters Guild. They do travel.
Yeah. But they only have branches in the capital cities.
Well, it's a good thing we're heading towards one later.
Well, you're in one right now.
Yeah, but we're also going to be heading towards another one.
You are?
Chris?
Oh, right. Is Chris the capital of Elm or Bailey?
Elm.
Oh, okay.
It's the capital of Elm.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up.
Yep, I think that's gonna do it for us for tonight or for today.
Yeah.
This morning.
Yes. This afternoon.
This afternoon, whenever you're listening.
Yeah.
Whenever we're listening again.
Maybe
whenever,
3 years in the future. If it's 3 years in the
whenever my
future,
girlfriend
happy
listens to
2026.
this because she listens to these.
Oh my
Hi,
god! Why would
babe.
anyone listen to this? I don't know. I enjoy these mostly because it's an excuse to just like go on tangents.
Punk, if you're watching this and you hear this, you hear me saying this right now, send me a message on Telegram. Just send florp.
Florp. All right. Well,
Either send the word florp or like an image of flarp. You know, the farting putty.
all right. Well,
Anyway.
there's a lot of stuff on the channel that you can check out. As we've mentioned extensively, there is a D&D campaign called World of Tapir you can watch. That is my homebrew. It is a sandbox with plenty of things to do. There is and an actual like plot, like an actual overall goal. Which is activate these giant robot stone constructs cities. There is also Curse of Strahd being run by our friend Chalkfee. There is Sonic 06.
Hopefully.
Well, actually, no. By the time, when this goes up, there's not Sonic 06, but there will be.
Yeah, no, this gets put up today.
Yeah.
Look for Sonic 06 in the near future.
On Monday. There is Lil Gator
does it get
game.
uploaded Monday?
No, Sonic 06 will be.
We're recording that tomorrow, right?
Yes. Because next
Hopefully.
week, keep an eye out for Cult of the Lamb DLC. So our recording schedule is a little bit fucked up at the moment because the Cult of the Lamb DLC, we want to get that day one, which is normally the day we record Metroid Prime.
Yeah, we recorded it yesterday.
Yes, and
boy,
it'll be posted next week. It was miserable.
Miserable at the end.
Yeah.
Look, I'm fine wandering through the
Fendrana?
Fendrana, walking through Fendrana.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I am fine aimlessly wandering.
But finding out...
boy, that enemy.
Yeah. I mean, also, you did literally choose the most roundabout way to get to where you wanted in Fendrana.
Well, look, I don't have a problem with taking long paths to get to somewhere in a game. Sure, it gets annoying sometimes, but like I like walking.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, there's also a Little Gator game that Scraps is playing. My boyfriend Scraps is playing.
Yes.
There is also Tabletop Thursdays. This week's episode, since Thursday was 4 of the 20, or well, I guess 20 of the 4, April 20th. 420 Blaze. We did weed.
Yeah, we did Stoner Flux.
Yeah. And that is, I think, all the stuff on
Comment.
Yeah. So, comment challenge of the day. What are your favorite quest types?
Quest types?
Yeah. You know, like, do you like, bring this person to this place, or go get this item, or go kill this person. Like, what's your favorite kind of quest?
Puzzle dungeon.
Hell yeah! Just go to a place and don't know what's in it, but it's crazy, so there's probably something good.
Look, I love Zelda.
Yeah.
Puzzle dungeon.
I am a huge slut for puzzle dungeons, as evidenced by the fact that I had a really, really stupid puzzle dungeon that would have worked much better in actual play, with the rooms being modular.
Yeah.
It was a slide puzzle dungeon with each of the rooms being a tile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, just like having that on the on a table and just like shifting them around.
God, that would have been so fun.
And you've got a 3D printer. You could have printed them out in like color filament as well.
Oh yeah. Well, what I would have done was, so my dad does. He makes
that would
his
have been
own maps and carves them out of foam and shit, and paints them.
Yeah.
I would have done that, if I had a budget, I would have done Dwarven Forge.
I want to make terrain and scatter so bad.
Yeah. I wish we were doing live play. It would require so much more prep, but also it would be so fun.
It would require more prep. Also,
money.
That, and also we'd probably have to do it on like we'd have to do it in Waco.
I mean, like, in an ideal like world in which all of us live in the same city.
An idealistic situation in which we all live in the same general area and can play D&T together. And
yeah. I would have a
personas.
Dedicated room for it. Anywho, with that out of the way, there's nothing left to say, but good night, everybody.
Bye.